time for high school sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Today's broadcast of high school sports on the NCWLIFE channel is presented by Alignment Pros, Automoca, Color FX, Global Car Care, One Way Construction, and the Windmill Restaurant. NCWLIFE channel's coverage is also brought to you by Charter College and the Walkabout Grill. Now let's go live for all the action for tonight's coverage of high school sports on your home for local sports, the NCWLIFE channel.
Good evening, sports fans. Welcome to Eastmont's Wildcat Stadium, where we have Big Nine soccer tonight on the NCWLIFE channel. Along with Matt Wise and I'm Eric Grandstrom. We're here to bring you the matchup of the Cross River rivalry. It is Wenatchee and Eastmont here on the NCWLIFE channel. Well, Matt, these teams met just 3 weeks ago, and you can't get much closer than the first game around.
No, we needed extra spot shots from the spot to settle it, and personally, I can't stand penalties to win a game. So I'm hoping for a winner in regulation time tonight. I know both teams will probably feel exactly the same way.
Well, and they're eager to get this one on because you got first place on the line for the Big Nine here tonight.
Yeah, lots riding on the line tonight, and maybe a little bit of breathing room as well between first and second.
Absolutely. They both come in actually with 20 points, even though Wenatchee has one win more. The Panthers' only loss was to Moses Lake. Eastmont beat Moses Lake here a couple of weeks ago. So on paper, what do you think about this matchup?
Well, you know, last time Wenatchee kind of had a run of possession, a few more opportunities, just couldn't find the net. I'm sure Coach Springer's saying, look, we got to put them away when we got chances. And likewise, Eastmont's been playing really good defense. And they're working on a little possession in the attacking third. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun watching to see how both teams respond to the previous time they played each other, as well as their last game. Wenatchee had a pretty easy 5-0 win. Eastmont had a little more difficult time down at Ike with 2-1 win.
Yeah, 2-1 win where the red card came out for the coach for Eastmont. So Aaron Riddall is out of this one. Matt Kimmel's going to take over head coach here tonight, and we'll see how they respond. And we'll talk to Matt about the plan for tonight as we continue with the pregame show. We'll talk also to John Springer, head coach for Wenatchee, as we continue here live from Eastmont's Wildcat Stadium. It's the Panthers and the Wildcats coming your way next on the NCWLIFE channel.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
What's your Automoca emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Pre-game show continues here on the NCWLIFE channel prior to this matchup between the Eastmont Wildcats and the Wenatchee Panthers. And now talking with Matt Kimmel. Well, Matt, it doesn't get any better than this. Battle for first place. You got home field here. Talk about the approach coming into this one against the Panthers.
We've been looking forward to this game all season. We are really focusing on keeping possession, staying calm, and taking high percentage shots. We do not want to waste or give the ball away when we don't have to.
How about the play of Cora Fry? I mean, this sophomore has just been unbelievable, and we were talking about it, and with John Springer, too. He said that was the key to that last game, and she's been a key for you guys all season long.
Cora's one of those players that we, as a coaching staff, look at her and think, wow, a sophomore. Like, we get her for 2 more years. We just pinch ourselves every time. She is so solid. She is really on it, and she trains on her own. She is really a committed member of this team, and we're super excited to have her. We're very grateful.
Matt?
So I know last game against Wenatchee when in penalties, it's typically a pretty crushing way to end a game. Disappointing, I'd say at the least. How much is that playing into your girls' minds tonight? Nerves typically really have an impact on this game especially. What have you guys done to maybe keep them a little calm after keep that from building up on them?
Truth be told, we walked away from the Wenatchee game feeling very happy and very encouraged. A game that goes through double overtime and no one wins, you have to end it some way. And oftentimes PKs are a coin flip. So we have no ill will towards that game. We walked away with our heads high, feeling great. We didn't have to calm them down at all. They were just, we're going to get them next time. And we had a great practice yesterday. They are calm, they are focused, they're ready.
Well, you've had some fantastic results, and you, for the most part, kept probably the player of the year for the Big Nine under control against Moses Lake. And that's no easy task. Your defense really stood strong in that game. Like you say, you're just down to putting the last couple pieces together. How do you see that coming along? You don't have many games left. You think that's working pretty good?
I feel like we built our foundation on our defense. It was a wonderful move to make because they are solid. We have seniors and juniors, all of them leaders, all of them playing amazing defense. On top of that, we built our midfield, which we're changing tonight a little bit. But for the most part, our last deal is high percentage shots in the scoring third. Just calming down, playing our game, and pulling the trigger when you have the right time.
Well, you guys and Wenatchee have both been probably are obviously the best teams in the league, and a lot of fun to watch. And I guess I feel a little lucky to be able to call either Wenatchee or Eastmont at any time during the week. And it's been a great experience, so thank you for that.
Well, thanks for supporting us. It's been a great season, battling number one back and forth across the water. It's been a great time.
And it will be a battle for number one coming up as we get you ready for kickoff. Next, here from Wildcat Stadium, it's the Eastmont Wildcats and the Wenatchee Panthers. Big Nine Soccer's next on the NCWLIFE channel.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Our pregame show continues here on the NCWLIFE channel, now getting a chance to talk with John Springer, head coach for the Wenatchee Panthers. Well, John, you guys are on a 5-game winning streak, but the last time these two teams met, that was quite the contest. Talk about your ladies' preparation for this one here tonight.
Well, I think they're ready. You're right. The last game was a nail-biter all the way through, so I expect this one to be, a tough one as well. I think the girls are ready. They're healthy. They've been clicking well and working well together. So I think they're definitely coming together. It's a new mix of girls from previous seasons. So yeah, I'm excited. We'll see what happens.
I kind of see you guys as an offensive team, but you've only allowed 3 goals in league play so far. Talk about that. That's quite a record.
Yeah, it goes. It's gone unsaid for years. I mean, this defense of ours for the last several years has been phenomenal. It's been the best defense in the league, and it just kind of goes unrecognized, unnoticed because we get some offensive output throughout the season usually, but no, they haven't given up more than a goal in a game, and as long as that's the case, we're in every game.
Matt?
So I saying in the earlier segment that I doubt either coach is going to want to see it to go to penalties tonight, and would rather see a winner during run of play. Yeah. Do you have any special tricks up your sleeve? You got anything you've been telling your girls to work on this? Maybe put away some opportunities that you had that you didn't put away last time?
I wish there was a magic button to push, Matt. No tricks necessarily. Just finish when you get the opportunity, and it's tough to do. Cora's been playing great in the goal for them, and last time we played them, I thought she was really the difference in that game. Early in the game, we got a couple of really good looks, and she had 3 or 4 beautiful saves early in the game, and that kept them in it. Got them, fired up. Our girls started getting frustrated, and then both teams were off to the races after that. So, the big focus has been when you get those opportunities early in the game, you got to finish them and try and set things up. And over the years, we've been a team that tends to miss those opportunities early and try to capitalize on them late. But we've had a hard time capitalizing on those late goals against Eastmont. So if we can get them early, that helps.
And being that this is kind of they call them a derby game, a grudge match in a way, those contentious games, your rival. It seems like nerves can have a big impact on how this game plays out. A lot of times it's not the prettiest. For Wenatchee, though, you're 11-1 over the last 12 games against Eastmont. But looking back, it doesn't seem like that because they've all been so close.
Yeah, I think only all but maybe 4 of them have been 1-goal games, and the loss we had to them a couple years ago was a shootout. Most of the time, it's a 1-point differential between the two. So yeah, you're right. They're always tight, and there's a lot of nerves, a lot of energy. It usually takes a good 10 or 15 minutes for the players to settle down, and but it's a battle every single time. Absolutely.
Well, John, keep everybody healthy. Have a good game today.
Yeah, we'll do. Thanks a lot.
John Springer joining us here on the pregame show. We're getting close to kickoff. We'll see if we have time for Matt Kimmel coming up next on the NCWLIFE channel.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Brought to you by One Way Construction, premier custom home builders and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consulting services. OneWayConstructionNW.com. The Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service, located at 1205 Walnut Street, Wenatchee. TheFireplaceGuy.net. And Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home.
Between Eastmont and Wenatchee, the announcements being made here at Wildcat Stadium in front of a good crowd tonight, as you would expect with the Cross River rivalry between the Panthers and the Wildcats. Let's take a look at the lineups here as announced by first the visitors and their head coach John Springer. He's assisted by Kristen Brown and Kevin Reister. Kate Springer getting the start here. She wears number 1. She is a senior. Allie Clark wears number 2. She's a sophomore. Holly Stegman wears number 3. She's a freshman. Madison Smith, who's been quite a scorer this year for the Panthers, she wears number 4. She is a junior. Jaden Griggs, speaking of scorers, one of the most prolific scorers in Big 9, is a senior. She wears number 8. Emmy Coldy is number 9. She's a senior. Ellie Toth is a senior also. She wears number 13. Number 15, Isabel Palayo, is a senior. Maggie Miller wears number 16. She's a senior. Haley Matthews will be the goalkeeper. She's a senior. And Olivia Bowman, that is, wears number 22. She is a sophomore. Meanwhile, for the Eastmont Lady Cats, their head coach is Erin Riedel. Again, she's serving a game suspension tonight because of a red card in their last game against Eisenhower. So it'll be Matt Kimmel taking the charge of the sidelines here tonight. He's assisted by Rosie White and Gabby Gonzalez. The starters for the Eastmont Lady Cats, wearing number 1, Cora Fry. She'll be in goal. She has been spectacular all season long. She's a sophomore. Wearing number 2, Alyssa Conorick is a senior. Cheyenne Chang wears number 3. She's also a senior and a captain. Jaden Brown is number 4. She's a sophomore. Riley Fisher is number 6. She's a sophomore. Lexi Heimbigner is number 7. She's a junior. Carissa Miller, another captain for the Eastmont Lady Cats, is a senior. She wears number 9. Number 12 for the Lady Cats is Whitney Lane, a senior. Annalise Bauman is a freshman. She wears number 14. 17 is Tess Sparks, a junior. And number 19, Megan Chandler. She is a sophomore. That is the lineups. The Eastmont Lady Cats coming in at 6-2. Statistically, second place in the Big 9, but both teams with 20 points coming in. So virtual tie for first place as the Panthers are 7-1 in Big 9 play. The officials for tonight, Nelson Elias, Jaime Ibarra, and Jesus Covarrubias. That is our lineup, and we will come back with the kickoff coming up next on the NCWLIFE channel.
Choose the pros, Alignment Pros. When your vehicle needs brakes, shock, alignment, choose the experts in their field. Alignment Pros and Express Lube with a 5-star rating. The work they perform on your vehicle is as impeccable as their shop. With state-of-the-art equipment, Alignment Pros can handle all large or small vehicles, specialty cars, lifted or lowered. Alignment Pros does them all. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color FX in Cashmere. Color FX offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. It's brought to you in part by the Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service. Located at 1205 Walnut Street in Wenatchee, thefireplaceguy.net. Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home. And the Windmill Restaurant, providing traditional steakhouse meals in a homey, old-fashioned dining room. Call 509-665-9529. Welcome back once again to Eastmont's Wildcat Stadiums. We're ready for Big Nine soccer tonight on the NCWLIFE channel. And our broadcast brought to you in part by the Alignment Pros at Express Lube. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros at Express Lube, including front and four-wheel alignment. Online at alignpros.com or at 182 Eastmont Avenue. Also by Automoca. What's your Automoca emergency? Visit one of their 6 locations in the valley, including the only Automoca with inside seating on 5th Street across from the college. Our opening kickoff brought to you by Swoboda Photography, creating a custom boutique experience on location or at their studio in Leavenworth. Give them a call at 509-888-6654. That's 888-6654. So the coin toss won by the Panthers. They will kick off here in the white uniforms trimmed in purple. The Eastmont Lady Cats in red trimmed in white. As we are ready to tee it up here, Holly Stegman will do it here for the Panthers. As she'll get it back to Kate Springer. And boy, Matt Wiesen, Kate Springer has certainly been an offensive charge here for Wenatchee this season.
Yeah, she's been coming out of the back really well. And typically defenders that come out of the back line are not marked very well. Forwards don't like to stick with those runners. And she gets open quite a bit, and you see her crack some shots around 20 to 30 yards out.
Well, Springer, speaking of which, cracked a shot there that went, I think, off the side of the face of Cheyenne Chang out of bounds. So it'll be a corner kick for Wenatchee. They'll do it from the near corner. And a first real opportunity here for Wenatchee in the contest. Left foot put to it, and a crossing and a header in front of the goal will go across the end line, and it'll be a goal kick here for Wenatchee.
That was a pretty good look at the net. I don't think the attacker thought that ball was going to get through and kind of took her by surprise.
We'll keep track of shots and goal kicks and all that kind of good stuff here. And the corner kicks as well through the evening as Eastmont's Cora Fry will kick it out of her goal area, and it comes out towards midfield. Eastmont on the attack. Lexi Heimbegner gets it up for Chandler down in the corner. Ball goes out of bounds off of Wenatchee. A throw in on the touchline over there, and here's a crossing pass out in front. Eastmont right there, but it's still loose out in front. Nobody's getting a hold of it here. Finally, it's kicked out to the sideline and cleared away by the Wenatchee defense. Boy, a good opportunity there, Matt.
Yeah, definitely a golden opportunity. I had 2 keys to the game, and one was controlling the midfield, and the other one was take advantage of those precious few opportunities.
Yeah. So we've had a charge per side here, and not really a shot on goal per se yet for either club as they kind of, and we talked with Matt Kimmel beforehand. He said nerves. John said that too. Nerves in the early part of the game and kind of shake them out here, and that's what we're seeing on the field right now for both sides. Here's a kick from way out. Hit the top of the crossbar. Centered in and just out of the range there for Annalise Bauman. Golden opportunity right in front.
Yeah, Eastmont's definitely taking it to Wenatchee right off the bat. They've moved another player up into their forward or their attacking positions, and Wenatchee, I don't think, has necessarily responded to that too well.
Chip ahead to Jaden Brown. Brown has been a goal scorer for Eastmont so far. Eastmont coming in just 13 goals for in Big Nine play, 6 against. Meanwhile, Wenatchee has 27 goals scored in Big Nine play on a 5-game winning streak right now coming into this one. Good chase down by Cheyenne Chang there to mark Jaden Griggs over in the corner. Couple of bodies come over on Griggs. She'll get it away, and here's a crossing pass, and who's there? It's a left-footed shot taken, but off the mark by Palaio. And right there is Cora Fry for an easy stop. So 1 shot per side here. Kind of a half-hearted attempt by Wenatchee, but an attempt nonetheless. As we settle into the first half of this one, 3.5 minutes in. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCWLIFE channel. Bringing you live Big Nine soccer tonight. On actually what's turned out to be a gorgeous night.
Yeah, beautiful. Finally clearing out.
Some of the weather we had here last week and a lot of the rains that fell earlier over the weekend and early this week have certainly softened the surface out there. And Chandler goes tumbling down as she tried the attack down in the corner there. And what are we going to get here? They're going to say it's out to Eastmont on a throw-in here on the touchline. And who's going to come over and do it? It will be Jaden Brown to do the honors here in the corner. Eastmont with 5 bodies in the area. Header comes out. Wenatchee trying to counter. Panthers' Isabel Pelayo, who had that shot moments ago, will kick it out, but then stopped right there by Carissa Miller, and then she'll dump it in. And right there is Haley Matthews, no problem. Matthews will punt the ball out past midfield. Nice punt there by Matthews. Scramble out towards midfield for the loose ball, and it's picked up by Wenatchee as Ellie Toth will get it over on the left side. Then a entry, here's a good pass, but a nice job by Cora Fry to come out to the top end of her box and take care of business.
That run and that pass was giving Eastmont fits against Moses Lake, and I think Wenatchee might have picked the thing up from that
Sure,
game there.
Watch that film definitely. Chandler will come near side to Chang. Chang will back it up, and they'll try to come further towards the sideline here to Annalise Bauman. And it comes out of bounds here near side. Olivia Bowman will do the throw-in duties. Battle for the ball here near midfield, and it touched off of the foot of Pelayo, goes out of bounds, and will be a throw-in here for Eastmont. In the 6th minute, scoreless so far, Eastmont and Wenatchee battle for first place of the Big Nine on the line here tonight. Entry comes in, but easily tracking that one down is Ellie Toth. She'll go up to the far side to Springer. Kate had a battle there. Ball loose out towards midfield. Panthers pick it up. Olivia Bowman will track it down. Then a nice pass over to Pelayo. Excuse me, that's Pelayo collecting it now. She'll get it ahead to Smith. Madeline Smith got some good defense there by Alyssa Conorick as she marked her well. And that's something, Matt, that Eastmont's done well on these attacks. We saw that against Moses Lake as they've just confounded some very talented players, not giving them the angles for shots.
Yeah, Alyssa is back there, and she is just covering so much ground this year. She was crazy against Moses Lake and their attackers. Those two, Cora and Alyssa have just been stalwarts for their defense this year.
We talked to Erin Radall after that contest about that defense, and she says that she just wants to take away those angles.
Mm-hmm.
Just pester them, take away those angles, and that's what they're looking for. Eastmont battling for the ball out towards midfield right now as Whitney Lane comes up with it, but lost it out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in here for Wenatchee. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Color Effects, offering screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, and logo design for your team, school, business, or church at a fair price. Locally owned for over 20 years, call Color Effects at 509-741-7609. Substitution here for Wenatchee coming into the contest is Amanda Schneider. So Schneider is in for the Panthers. Thought maybe a handball could have been called over there on the far sideline. Ball rooted out towards midfield, and a whistle, and it's going to be a free kick here for Eastmont. About 10 yards shy of the midfield stripe, just outside the center circle, and a kick by Alyssa Conorick here. She'll root it ahead, glance off of Panther foot. Cheyenne Chang giving chase. Chang will back it away from the defense, then chip it ahead, but right there stepping in front and stealing it away for the Panthers was Olivia Bowman. Ball come out of bounds and a throw in here for Eastmont. Throw comes in to the foot of Maggie Miller, who kicks it right back out of bounds. So another throw in for Eastmont. Wildcats on the throw in there was Riley Fisher. This time looks like Conorick will take care of the duties. Good high arcing throw in here near side. Scramble for it in the Wenatchee end. And a turn. The ball skitters up the near sideline and then goes out of bounds off of Eastmont. So a throw in for Wenatchee. Bowman will come up and take care of that. Gets it in quickly to Miller. Maggie turns, tries to find her teammate. Gets the ball chipped back to her, but then lost the foot of it. And now Eastmont will just root it ahead. The ball heading for Jaden Brown. Brown had a 1-on-2. He's going to wait for some help, though. Brown trying to triangle it back, but a nice job by Bowman stepping in front and kicking that ball out of bounds. Eastmont ball. Throw in goes off the head, Jaden Brown, and then picked up back there by the Panthers. A lot of hollering, but not much movement there for a few moments. Ball comes down out of bounds.
Wenatchee's not looking overly comfortable with the ball in the back line tonight. It's one thing they're going to have to really iron out and just be more comfortable in possession in the back. And that's going to pay big dividends because Eastmont will start pressing, and that'll open things up in the midfield. But right now they're just kind of bypassing the midfield or their other support network in the defense, and they're just lobbing it downfield and turning it into a 50-50 ball.
Now, we mentioned the fact that this field did get quite a bit of rain, and it does not handle the rain well, as this was a former orchard back in the day and is a lot of fill here. So the drainage is not the greatest. And talking with some folks here at Eastmont before the game, they said that this middle, especially between the hash marks here, very soft. And, Matt, we saw out there that a lot of feet were disappearing in the grass. The turf a little bit taller than what we've seen so far this season, too.
Yeah, it's a little longer, and it felt pretty soft. It's more bumpy, I think, than soft right now. It actually held up. I was at the Wenatchee Valley men's game last night, and that field was pretty soft. There were big pieces of turf coming off the pitch. And so it's draining, but, yeah, it's definitely not the Apple Bowl.
Substitution for Eastmont. Whitney Lane will come out, and Maria Mendoza comes in for the Wildcats. She had a big goal in that match we called between Eastmont and Moses Lake here last week. Chip ahead. Kate Springer got the ball in front of everybody, but nice job by Cora Fry to scramble out after that one. Make sure something doesn't go completely awry for the Eastmont defense. Fry will punt it up, bounces near midfield. The scrum for it. Chandler had a foot on it, but then we're going to get a whistle handball against Wenatchee. So opportunity here for Eastmont to go on the offensive. And I guess, Matt, you look at that game last week that we called against Moses Lake, and Eastmont certainly being a little more aggressive in this one.
Yeah, you can tell they've spent some more time working on the build-up and possession in the final third.
Conorick ahead, and Chandler was there. That ball got behind everybody. But coming out of goal is Haley Matthews, and she'll pick that up and reset things.
I believe the game against Moses Lake, most of the goals came off of some longer balls through the middle into the goal. A long shot that was mishandled. Maybe a pass that originated from around on the football field from around the 40-yard line through the middle. And then somewhat similar, I believe, as well. And tonight they're working on possession, it looks like, in the middle third, moving up as a group, which is taking Wenatchee by a little bit of surprise.
Cora Fry with a punt out of her end. Ball headed out by Carissa Miller. Then Chandler picks it up. Tried to stab at it, stops it, and then feeds ahead to Chang. Chang whiffed on her pass attempt. Now back the other way comes Wenatchee. And a kick down all the way in the corner off of Olivia Bowman. And it will go out. And so from the touchline here near side, it'll be an Eastmont throw-in.
I need to bring a saw next time and open this window just a little bit wider.
Or just put you a porthole on the one side.
The porthole would be great.
In the 14th minute of this one, still scoreless between Eastmont and Wenatchee here tonight. Of course, that might ring a bell because when they met 3 weeks ago, It remained scoreless through regulation, scoreless through the first overtime, scoreless through the second overtime, finally went to penalty kicks. And it was Wenatchee getting the better of Eastmont, 3-2 in penalty kicks to win the contest, officially 1-0. Busy week this week on the NCWLIFE channel. Matt and Sebastian called Wenatchee's game on Tuesday night. A victory for the Panthers over Davis 5-0. Really not much of a competition that night, Matt.
No, definitely not. The power is definitely up here in the north part of this conference.
Well, Moses Lake, that's going to be an interesting one coming up for Wenatchee still to come. The only loss they have in Big Nine play up until tonight is a game at Moses Lake, and they'll have Moses Lake at home coming up on the 16th. Here's a approach by Jaden Griggs, fronted it, and across just off the thigh there of Haley Stegman. Wenatchee still trying to control, but a whiff there, and here comes Eastmont up the near side. Slide kick by Springer, goes out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a great opportunity for Wenatchee, just off the tip of Howie's foot.
Here's a ball that comes in again. Wenatchee looking good on this approach. If they can keep it in bounds, they do. The cross, and nice job getting back there defensively for Eastmont to kick that ball away on the far end down there. And out towards midfield it comes, and it will go out across the way from us on the far touchline. I couldn't see who got in the middle of that back there defensively for Eastmont. I think it was Tess Sparks who got a foot in there and redirected traffic. Substitutions here for Eastmont. Chandler will come out, as will Jaden Brown. Into the contest, returning is Annalise Bauman, along with Whitney Lane. Keeping some fresh legs out there for both crews. The throw-in comes in. Ball loose out towards midfield. Chang will pick it up there. Trying to sweep it here near side. Looking for Ellie Little. Little can't keep it from going out of bounds, however. And so it'll be a throw in here near side for Wenatchee. They quickly get it in, but Chang is right there to redirect it on a header out of bounds. Right in front of the Eastmont bench. A little hesitation this time around on the throw in by Bowman. Then she'll just root it ahead, and right there, Cora Fry. Sophomore picks it up, and we'll punt it back towards midfield. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Global Car Care, a quality auto repair facility with highly trained technicians celebrating 25 years of business in the car care business. They speak your car's language at 1840 North Wenatchee Avenue. So soccer tonight, football tomorrow night here on this same field, as we'll have a battle for first place in the Big Nine again tomorrow night, as the Eastmont Wildcats will take on the Sunnyside Grizzlies. Wenatchee looked like they had something brewing there. Jaden Griggs on the attack, but right there to defend it was Alyssa Konarick, again for Eastmont. Alyssa seems to kind of have that static cling wherever the ball goes in the Eastmont end. She's around it somewhere.
Yeah, she covers all kinds of ground. We're talking to Coach before the game about his players and Alyssa and Cora, and how excited they are to have those players back, and definitely have some outstanding older class players. But they've got some great players coming up that are learning. In addition to Cora, Riley Fisher is an outstanding player. She's just a sophomore as well, and has been starting almost every game on the back line for Eastmont this year. And she's making strides. And likewise for Wenatchee, they've got some a freshman there, Hallie Stegman, just making some really good runs and has been key to their attack this year. And she's learning from one of the best in Jaden Griggs.
Yeah. Nice to have that, basically a coach on the field. Maybe not so much in word, but in actions. This is how you play the game. I don't know, you can't teach speed necessarily, but certainly.
You can teach lines, you can teach reading the ball, reading players, lots of stuff like that.
Well, in fact, just a moment ago, Cora Fry was little lackadaisical coming up with the ball in the box there, and Jaden Griggs challenged her, came up, and made her get that ball.
Yep.
Just one of those competitive plays. And here Konarick sweeps the leg and captures a lot of the legs of Amanda Schneider and takes her down. So this is going to be a free kick for Wenatchee. Interesting here from about 35 yards out. On the free kick, Holly Stegman or Madison Smith. They're both lined up to do so. Eastmont trying to find their marks. Cora Fry grabbing the upright. And it'll be Smith that will kick it here with the left foot. The entry, nice entry, and it goes in! Over the top of Cora Fry. It looked like it maybe was going to hit the crossbar, but no. The first goal of the game is to Madison Smith in the 20th minute.
That was a deceiving ball. It had some movement on it, and it looked for a minute like it was going to go long. It looked for a minute like it was going to go wide, and then it just kind of dropped in behind. And that's a tough one to defend.
So the Panthers strike first here, and we will not have, well, I can't say that. I was going to rush to say, we don't have to worry about a penalty kick now, but long way to go in this one. Eastmont on the counter here and the attack. Here comes Jaden Brown. Brown marked over there by Emmy Coldy, I should say. And now a foot to it by Maria Mendoza. It goes left of the upright and will be a goal kick here for the Panthers.
So that right there, how Eastmont responds to that goal is at the crux of what Coach Matt was saying before the game, and can they keep their composure? Can they keep possession and not force silly shots? Your instinct is to get it back immediately. And a lot of times that just makes you take shots that are pretty opportunistic and trade those in for a spell of possession and maybe a more quality shot.
Ellie Little trying to get that ball out towards center, chased by Chandler, but right there to scoop it up is Haley Matthews for Wenatchee. She'll quickly punt the ball back towards midfield. A little bit too high for Chang, and then a header by Griggs, and then Cora Fry's going to come out and say, I don't want that anywhere near me. Kicks it out of bounds here on the near side. Our broadcast brought to you in part by One Way Construction, premier custom home builders and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consulting services. Online at onewayconstructionnw.com. Along with Matt Wise and I'm Eric Grandstrom here on the NCW Life Channel. 22nd minute of this one. Wenatchee with the early lead here, 1-0 over Eastmont in this battle for first place in the Big Nine. Chandler had the ball, carry him off of a Panther here. Substitution for Eastmont as Annalise Bauman comes back in. The throw-in comes right to her, off of her head, and then picked up by Jaden Brown. Now the ball stolen away by Wenatchee. Back the other way comes Schneider. Schneider here near side. Chang came over. Jaden Griggs right in front. There's Annalise Konarick again with a nice defense. It's kicked out of bounds in the corner. Going to be a corner kick here for Wenatchee. But Jaden Griggs looked like she had a gap there, but then it was quickly closed by Alyssa Konarick. Had some help from Riley Fisher on the defense for Eastmont. So here we go with our second corner kick of the game for Wenatchee. Left foot put to it. Trying to go weak side with it. Still loose over there by Wenatchee. Ellie Toth had it. She'll get it in. Fry battling for the ball. We get a whistle called. And this will be a goal kick for Eastmont. Konarick will do the kicking here for Eastmont. Again, our center referee, Nelson Elias.
They must have called a foul on that one. I think Cora took a little bit of a bump.
It is a place kick here, not a goal kick. And the boot by Konarick goes out of bounds on the far side on the touchline. 24th minute to this one here in the first half, 1-0 on a goal by Madison Smith in the 20th minute on a free kick out near the 34-yard line. A little bumping over there. Panther fans across the way trying to be vociferous here tonight on a chilly but really nice night here in this month of October after all the rains we had here end of last week and over the weekend. Ball ricochets off of a Panther here near side and will be a throw in for Eastmont. Riley Fisher will grab hold of it and look for a teammate on throw in, headed by Wenatchee, and then intercepted by Schneider. Schneider back to Springer. Springer with a lead pass looking for Griggs. Ball caroms around, now picked up, and a shot taken on goal. And Fry's going to let that one go across the end line here as it was taken by Stegman.
Just deflected slightly. It looks like Wenatchee won a corner there.
So they're going to say it did go off of an Eastmont player. And a corner kick for Wenatchee coming up, their third of the contest. 25th minutes. That young lady's ponytail is so long I can't see her number. It is Wenatchee's Madison Smith, who has the goal. She will do the corner kick with that strong left leg. Signals to her players to start advancing. She'll kick, going for the weak side, and here's a header, and it's just off the left side of the upright on the attempt over there for the Panthers.
So that's 2 corners, right, for Wenatchee, and both times
three for the game so far.
So 2 out of the 3 Wenatchee's had a head on that ball, and relatively uncontested.
Yeah.
That's one thing you're definitely going to want to have some words with your back line or your defenders at halftime.
Ellie Toth with the header opportunity there for Wenatchee. And now a goal kick for Eastmont comes out, and then right there is Springer and company. They take it away for the Panthers. Ellie Toth comes up with it, comes left side to, or right side to Stegman. Stegman had the ball taken away. Conorick right there. Off to Chandler. Chandler feeds ahead towards midfield. And a left foot put to it by Bowman. Now chasing it down, Jaden Brown. The ball's going to be kicked out of bounds by Wenatchee as Coldy got back there defensively to clear it. Eastmont on the offensive. Chandler pestered there, gave up the ball. Loose near midfield. Chang collects it back for Eastmont. And now an entry ahead. Eastmont has some numbers down there as Jaden Brown goes after it. And again, another clearing attempt, but we're going to get a whistle. And a bump by Eastmont's going to give Wenatchee a free kick. Olivia Bowman's going to do the free kick duties here as it comes out towards midfield. Chang got it and gave it up to Brown. Brown trying to bring it back across center as they go right with it. Chasing after it is Heimbigner over there, and she'll try to put a shot on goal. And right there is Haley Matthews. So Eastmont's only got a couple of shots on goal here in this first half. And then we get a whistle near midfield. And it looks like it's going to be a free kick here for Eastmont in the 27th minute. Wildcats trail the Panthers 1-0 here on their home pitch here at Wildcat Stadium. Well, Conorick has certainly shown that she has the foot. We'll see how far she boots this forward. It'll bounce off of a Panther and then come loose, and we're going to get an offside call against Eastmont. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCWLIFE channel. We've got Marion down on the camera on the sidelines. We've got Jessica up here on the camera in the booth along with Matt Wiesen. I'm Eric Granstrom, and a push from behind on Chang. Another opportunity for Wenatchee. Last time we saw a free kick for the Panthers, they scored a goal on it by Madison Smith. And guess who's going to do the kick here? From about 44 yards away. Smith with the left foot to it. Chips it ahead. Cora Fry is there. This time will gather it in and snuff out that opportunity for Wenatchee. Punt by Fry, headed by her teammate Brown. Then the battle near side, picked away by Wenatchee. Panthers' Ellie Toth had it, and then we had sliding down to the ground was Jaden Griggs, and they're going to say, well, she was bumped to the ground. And I think they're going to say that was on Conorick. And so it is a timeout here for a substitution momentarily. Coming in for the Panthers will be Ireland Knipfer. And she will replace Holly Stegman. And meanwhile, free kick here just outside the 40-yard line here on the football field by Madison Smith. This entry ahead goes past everybody and will go past the end line and will be a goal kick here for Eastmont. We're in the 30th minute. Header towards midfield by Miller. Thought maybe a handball could have been called there. None coming. Sanchez Blanco in there now for Wenatchee. She's been able to score a few goals here this year for the Panthers as a sophomore.
She's provided some good spark for the team coming in off the bench.
Had a couple of goals in that non-leaguer against Kashmir here a week ago on a Monday. They had to move that game up to that Monday because they had a lack of officials. Eastmont trying to get a little offensive minded here, but Wenatchee back on the defensive line. A couple of headers out, and now the ball loose, and it'll be kicked away by Bowman. Chang comes up with it at midfield, but her entry in is stolen away there by Wenatchee. But then Chang right back to collect it again. Going over on the far side. Here's a chance for Eastmont. It's chipping it in right in front of the goal for the Wildcats. Jaden Brown, and we're tied at 1 as she connects in the 31st minute.
Yeah, just a little bit off on defending that runner. She gave up goal side, and it was a good ball and a great run. But you can't be giving up that goal side run and giving that attacker the free shot at goal. And a great job putting the thing away too. I mean, it's not easy when you're full sprint and having that ball hit your foot.
Give credit to Cheyenne Chang there for turning that ball around a couple of times and keeping it on the offensive end. Speaking of offensive end, here's a shot by Jaden Griggs from about 20 yards out. It goes wide to the left. Six shots on goal unofficially for Wenatchee here in this first half. 3 for Eastmont, and we are knotted at 1 here in the 32nd minute. Cora Fry with a goal kick here for the Wildcats. Ball caroms off of a couple of people, and there we see a slip out there, Matt, as Cheyenne Chang goes down. And we assume that there was going to be probably between the hash marks and probably center circle beyond by a couple of 5-10 yards where they play a lot of football here, that the field might see the softest part. Substitution for Eastmont. Maria Mendoza comes back into the contest, and she'll replace Whitney Lane as we're now in the 33rd minute of this Big Nine tilt between the Wildcats and the Panthers here at Wildcat Stadium in East Wenatchee on the NCWLIFE channel, also on our website at ncwlife.com. Battle over there by Chandler. Officials do a nice job of letting it go. Now the ball caroms off, and Jaden Brown was right there. Mendoza chips it, then Chang has it. Chang backs it away here. Comes back to Conorick to Mendoza. Mendoza near side, a little bit too strong, however, goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Wenatchee. Throw in kicked around a little bit here. Comes out toward midfield. Knipfer can't hang on to it, though, and comes out of bounds. They're going to say it's off of Eastmont. Pass comes in again. Try to work the far side to the Panthers. Toth to Griggs. Then a square. And Sanchez Blanco giving chase, and she tried to kick it for a centering pass, but again, Eastmont's defense right there, and I think we'll get another corner kick here for Wenatchee. This will be the 4th corner kick of the contest for the Panthers. And, man, I don't have Eastmont for one yet.
No, the ball's definitely been on the Eastmont side of the field a little bit more, and kind of like the Moses Lake game.
Yeah,
you know,
it has.
You give up possession a lot, but all you need a couple shots to get on the scoring sheet.
Madison Smith with the corner kick, and Eastmont defends that one much better than the other 3 that have come for the Panthers. Ball comes out towards midfield. Now Jaden Griggs trying to get herself some room here. Out at the 25 yards out with the dribble. Looking for some help. Far side she finds Smith over there. Excuse me, it was Sanchez Blanco. Now Springer's just going to chip it from 25 yards away, and it goes left to the upright. And will be a goal kick for Eastmont. Our broadcast brought to you in part by The Windmill. Time-tested restaurant providing traditional steakhouse meals in a homey, old-fashioned dining room. Open 7 days a week, 4:30 to 9. Call 509-665-9529. That's 665-9529. Get a chance to stop by these businesses and thank them for helping us bring the broadcast to you here on the NCWLIFE channel. So you go in for a steak at the Windmill. Be sure and tell the folks behind the counter and the boss people over there, thank you very much for your sponsorship of sports on the NCWLIFE channel.
And they're responsible for my stomach growling for probably, this is the 8th game we've done, something like 7th, 8th grade. So
yeah, exactly.
80 times 7, and that's how many minutes my stomach has been growling this last month and a half.
Yeah, every time we mention it. It is definitely some good eats here in the Wenatchee Valley. And we understand we also have quite a few folks that watch the stream from all around the Northwest, all around the country, on our website at ncwlife.com. Is it John saying that his mom is listening? John,
that's right.
John
yeah,
Springer's
yeah.
mom, so hello, Mrs. Springer.
And you know, one thing, when you do visit Wenatchee and you're in off the road, nothing sounds better usually when you're on the road than a piece of pie.
Oh,
and I don't know if you've had Windmill's pies before.
yes, I have. Yes, I have.
I think for the
and
locals,
that's the problem is that I just gorge myself on steak, and then I forget. I'm like, oh, there's pie.
Yeah, I usually get it to go.
Yeah, I try my Granstrom family tradition. We Thanksgiving time we have this tradition where you eat too much always, and then we have pie.
Yeah.
So to make room for pie, we go out in the living room, we push the coffee table away, and the TV chairs and all that, and we roll around on the floor a couple of times, and then you stand up.
Yeah.
You got room.
The
you got room for
redistribution.
pie.
Yep. And then you open your belt up just a little
That's
another
right.
notch.
You betcha. I'll take some pie with a little ice cream. Thank you very much.
Yep. And a nap.
And a nap.
And then some more pie.
Sure.
And it's always good for breakfast too the next day.
Oh, I'm telling you. When's Thanksgiving? Holy cow.
Not soon enough.
I know. I just got hungry.
But yeah, my toughest time, I loved their coconut cream pie. I remember eating the banana cream pie when I was a little kid there, and I loved that. Then the seasonal berry pies that they have are pretty dang good as well.
Well, we talk about that, the tradition of the Windmill. It's certainly been around a long time.
That's the first restaurant I ever remember eating at.
Really?
In Wenatchee,
Okay.
back in the early 70s at some point.
Yeah. And it was usually a special occasion. There was something good had to be going on in the life. A little slip of the throw-in over there by Eastmont. You don't see Wenatchee taking advantage, however, as the Wildcats counter, but their counter goes right to Bowman. Bowman boots it ahead to Schneider. Schneider chips back to Bowman. Little give and go here. Bowman in front of everybody will stop, try to center it across, and who's there? Kate Springer was there. Schneider collects it back here. Eastmont trying to counter. Conorick again finding that ball in her end. She doesn't like that, trying to get it out of there. Eastmont, Jaden Brown gets back there and gets into the act. And then Bowman again to Schneider, then to Springer. Springer will kick it. She was trying to get it, I think, up to Brown, to Griggs. That could have been a handball called at midfield there. No call. chipped ahead. Eastmont giving chase. Tess Sparks over there. Griggs is right there. Griggs is going to turn, and I think she kicked that off of Eastmont. So we'll have another corner kick for the Wenatchee Panthers. This will be their 5th of the contest as we're now in the final moments of this first half. All tied at 1. Here you go, Matt. You don't want to give up an easy one before the half, but Eastmont's defense going to be challenged here on this corner kick. And again, it's Madison Smith over there to do the kick from the left corner. The kick, the cross, the ball loose out front. A lot of wickets out there.
Yeah, lost that ball there.
Springer comes up with it out of the trees, and now it's out towards midfield. Jaden Brown, little give and go far side, and it's cleared away by Wenatchee. Time being held now by Nelson Elias out there on the field, our center referee. Had a few substitutions in that first half, so a few extra tick-tocks here. Wenatchee with the steal, Griggs with the ball, looking as she dribbles. Now we'll go left. There is Sanchez Blanco. Blanco tried to center it, but nice job Eastmont getting back there by Tess Sparks. Ball go off of her out of bounds, and will be a throw-in for Wenatchee. Don't think that was a corner kick. I think it went out on the side on the touchline over there. It did.
Slippery tonight.
Yeah, there's definitely some condensation gathering on that ball. We've seen a few that slipped out of the hands. Now to Griggs, look out. Griggs turns, defense comes on her, and a nice job of marking there for the Wildcats, as that was getting in the way. Tess Sparks of Jaden Griggs had one of those looks for Griggs like, uh-oh, here it comes. Now a corner kick again. It is the 6th of the contest for the Panthers. This one comes out wide and went off the foot of a Panther, but then ricochets out and will be kicked all the way out towards midfield. Time winding down, few last moments of this first half, and that will be the whistle that will end our first half of play. That is one in the books, and we are tied. A goal in the 20th minute by Wenatchee's Madison Smith from 34 yards out on a free kick. And then Jaden Brown countered in the 31st minute. And that is our scoring through one half, as we are tied at 1 here between Wenatchee and Eastmont. We'll take a 2-minute break and come back. You're watching Big Nine Soccer tonight here on the NCWLIFE channel. We're back after this.
Kunnen Sie mir das Problem sagen?
Meinen Zellen win. Flute. Ich habe mein Fugen verloren.
Keine Sorge.
Global Car Care. We speak your car's language.
Fragen Schlussen. Hey, you.
Well, I got a leaky transmission, my head gasket's shot, and I could use some new brake pads.
That dog don't hunt.
Global Car Care. We speak your car or truck's language.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frapprito mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frapprito.
Definitely the espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha Frappitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Brought to you by One Way Construction, premier custom home builders and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consulting services. OneWayConstructionNW.com. The Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service, located at 1205 Walnut Street, Wenatchee. TheFireplaceGuy.net. And Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home.
Halftime here between Eastmont and Wenatchee on the NCWLIFE channel. Big Nine Soccer on the broadcast tonight, and we are tied at 1. It was Madison Smith who got the first tally of the contest in the 20th minute on a free kick from 34 yards out. It sailed high and looked like it was going to hit the crossbar, but Cora Fry just couldn't come down with the ball, and it got right past her into the upper half of the net. And so with that, it would be a 1-0 Wenatchee lead, but that would only last for about another 10 minutes or so, as Jaden Brown would come away with the goal, the equalizer for the Eastmont Lady Cats. Nice job by Eastmont to keep it in the offensive end by Cheyenne Chang. Nice pass from the right side, and I apologize, I didn't see who had the assist there for Jaden Brown, but Brown was able to connect in the 31st minute, and that tied it at 1, and that's where we are right now with Wenatchee. I've got 5 corner kicks for Wenatchee, none for Eastmont in that first half. Meanwhile, shots on goal, I have Wenatchee with 7, Eastmont with 3, but all that matters is that 2 found the back of the net so far. Matt Wisen, you've had a chance to look at this one. We talked with the coach tonight for Eastmont, Matt Kimmel, filling in for Aaron Riddall, and he said he wanted to be a little more aggressive, and I think we did see Eastmont be a little more aggressive than we've had so far this season.
Yeah, they are bringing more numbers forward, and they are possessing the ball a little better in the midfield, and it has put some pressure on Wenatchee. Wenatchee hasn't been too comfortable possessing the ball in the defense, and I think that's kind of what led to Eastmont's goal, is that little higher press, and they capitalized on that.
So if you're both coaches talking to your clubs here at halftime, John Springer, first of all, what are you saying to the Wenatchee Panthers?
First of all, calm down defensively. When you're in possession, mainly, they haven't had to make many stops.
Right.
Generally, they're all right, but as soon as they get possession, it kind of looks like they can't wait to get rid of it. And Eastmont can capitalize on that like they did earlier and score a goal. Hold that ball, and more importantly, move and find that open player and work your way up into the midfield through the thirds. Secondly, is going forward when you're in possession through the middle of the field. I think they should. This is probably a little change of tactic there. I would put Jaden Grigg. She's a marked girl tonight. I'd park her not quite as deep and use her as a target in the middle of the field. She's going to bring Alyssa. She's got Alyssa's eye. And Eastmont's defense has been playing very aggressively. I wouldn't park her as deep, though. I'd park her a little shallower to pull that defense away from the back line, use her as a target, and then let her distribute the ball through and then play off of that.
Sure.
And that's kind of how I would progress with the game. Obviously, it doesn't always work that way, and weird shots are when it's scoring. Now, likewise, if you're Eastmont, they're playing fairly well defensively. Just watch the little over-aggressiveness defensively. When you're in possession in the final third, I'd like to see them look at second runners. There's one good run being made, and then maybe a couple runs way off in the corner for a long cross. That run, where that first run is originating from, is leaving space. And
sure, because they're being marked, and so they're dragging the defense with them.
It's leaving space or something in behind, and send that second runner out of the midfield right into that hole, and then feed that ball. Wenatchee's been taken advantage of a few times that way this year, and I think that would really surprise them. And then lastly, if this game goes deep, 1-1, bring Alyssa out of the back. She can make some runs. She's got the energy in reserve. Yeah. And I've never seen her tired. And she has been very dangerous at times coming out of the back, and just feed her down the flank and let her run, and that could be the deciding factor.
Just all guns blazing.
Yep.
I mean, it's a battle for first place. What do you got to lose?
Yeah, I like to win it during runner play, and let's just get it on.
Yeah, no more of those penalty kick sudden death situations. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Charter College. Charter Type's Find Solutions. Are you a charter type? They work to get you to work. Call 509-415-3576. Also by Walkabout Grill, where eating out is eating healthy in downtown Wenatchee. and downtown Leavenworth. We'll take another break, 2 minutes, and come back, get you ready for second half action. Coming up next, it's all tied at 1 between Eastmont and Wenatchee. It's Big 9 Soccer on the NCWLIFE channel. We're back after this.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Hey everyone, so today I'm tackling Medical Assistant Ninja, trying to get that next level career. Man, this dead-end job is holding me back. Decision time, I'm going charter college. Now I'm a medical assistant student. Rocking it? Yeah, earned the President's Award. Score! Took my career to the next level. Hey, I can level up to Medical Assistant Ninja, so can you. Get on it.
You don't want to see this happen. It's the oil light on your car. Oil is the lube of life for your car's engine. At Alignment Pros and Express Lube, they pour the best oil your car deserves. Expect fast, friendly, superior airment. They'll change your oil and perform a 21-point inspection while you enjoy the comfort of their amazing waiting room. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. It's brought to you in part by the Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service. Located at 1205 Walnut Street in Wenatchee, thefireplaceguy.net. Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home. And the Windmill Restaurant, providing traditional steakhouse meals in a homey, old-fashioned dining room. Call 509-665-9529.
Just about ready for second half action here between Eastmont and Wenatchee, all tied at 1 on the NCWLIFE channel. Our broadcast brought to you in part by the Windmill Restaurant of Wenatchee, priding itself on being a local legend for 80 years. The Windmill features slow-roasted prime rib, highest quality hand-cut steaks, and fresh seafood. Homemade dressings and pies are made daily and are the mainstay of this legendary landmark restaurant. The Windmill has a full bar and excellent selection of beer and wine from which to choose. Call the Windmill today at 665-9529. That's 665-9529. Also by One Way Construction, founded in 2000. One Way is a premier custom home builder and construction company in Leavenworth, Cashmere, Chelan, Wenatchee, and all of North Central Washington. Whether your project requires general contracting, framing, concrete, or consulting services, they want to be part of making your vision a reality. They believe that great communication and customer service plays the most important role of a successful construction project. Find them on the web at onewayconstructionnw.com. With Matt Wise and I'm Eric Granstrom here on the NCWLIFE channels. We get ready for second half action. Eastmont will have the kickoff, and our kickoff brought to you by Swoboda Photography, creating a custom boutique experience on location or at their studio in Leavenworth. Call 888-6654 for more information. So Madison Smith with a goal for Wenatchee, Jaden Brown with a goal for Eastmont, and that's where we sit as we start second half action here on the NCWLIFE channel. A little give and go out towards the center circle on the kickoff here by Eastmont. They lose track of the ball. It goes out of bounds here near side. It is interesting, you're pointing this out as they're going to the halftime break, that you have this really nice shelter right here with a bench and everything where you can stay for halftime. But yeah, Eastmont chooses to go out towards the goal and kneel down on the wet grass.
Yeah, I'm getting a little pampered as being a chef. Hey,
oh, look at the ball goes in just like that. Madison Smith from the left side, a centering pass, and it just went in just like that.
Let's see the replay here a little bit. Was that? It was touched maybe right on the line. I think they might give the.
They might give it to maybe Jaden Griggs.
Actually, I think it's. Oh goodness, I'm lacking the inch here. Let me go down my.
Is it Maggie Miller? 16.
Is Isabel Palaio out there right now? Is that right?
She's out there. Yeah, 15 is
They might
out
give
there.
that one to Palaio. I think that was who
Okay,
it was.
we're watching again here on the replay on the NCWLIFE channel, and oh yeah, she was on the weak side there. We'll have to check that number.
But yeah, that was
Smith.
a dangerous ball, and usually the flat balls across the middle are picked up by the keeper, but that had one of those bad dips too, and it was very, very well placed, and good job finishing that one up.
So we'll right now, I'll give it to your eyes, Matt, and say that was Palaio on the finish of a beautiful entry by Madison Smith here in the 41st minute, 2-1 Wenatchee. So just like that, they score just as we get underway here in the second half. Ball cleared here near side by Eastmont's Tess Sparks. It's like both teams started with the same crew they had out there to start the contest. Cheyenne Chang steps in front of that throw in here near side. And then the chase in the back end will go off of Jaden Brown out of bounds and be a throw in here for Wenatchee as Emmy Coldy will give it way to her teammate Allie Clark on the throw in. Up towards midfield, headed there, and then Chang collects it. Goes down after she gave a boot to it. Mendoza had it for a moment. Now Griggs. Ball loose out towards midfield. It's out of bounds off of Wenatchee. Throw in for the Wildcats. Header on the entry by Brown. But back there collecting it was Olivia Bowman. Chang trying to give chase, and it goes off of, well, they're going to say it went off of Chang out of bounds. I thought that may have touched Griggs.
That's how I saw it, but I don't have the whistle in my mouth.
The side referee right there. Assistant. A chip ahead on the far side over there for Wenatchee. Again, that's Isabel Palaio. I think you're right, Matt. I think that was Palaio looking at her ponytail bounce as she goes gets in that ball after looking at that replay. I think that was Palaio that got that goal for Wenatchee. So that is the difference in this one in the 41st minute. Palaio with the goal on a beautiful entry by Madison Smith. She's had a hand in both of Wenatchee's goals here tonight. As it's 2-1 with, we're in the 44th minute. Cora Fry punts the ball out past midfield. Goes past everybody. Allie Clark giving chase. And she'll just clear it out. Appreciate you joining us here on the NCWLIFE channel. Big Nine Soccer live on the broadcast tonight. And then we'll have football tomorrow night with Eastmont and Sunnyside right from this same broadcast location here at Wildcat Stadium. Ball's going to be a throw-in rather than a corner kick here for Eastmont. Eastmont still yet to get a corner kick in this game. Wenatchee with 5. Throw in here down to the corner by Heimbigner. Nope, she'll give it up. Instead, it will be Jaden Brown on the throw-in. Brown with a high lofting throw-in out in front of the goal crease and a chase after it. Trying to get it around is Bowman. And now the ball loose. Mendoza over there. Bodies collide and no whistle. Going to let them play. Both players just going after the ball there. So says our center referee. Far side goes a little bit too far for Stegman to get it. And so it'll be Eastmont ball here. We've had a few collisions tonight, Matt, but nothing extraordinary.
Well, it's been a really clean
just
game.
Letting them play.
Yep.
Well, and as we've mentioned many times, you get these two teams playing against one another, and they, with club ball and everything else, a lot of these ladies play with each other.
Yeah, they know each other well, and they're all friends off the field.
Panthers get it back here, trying to collect themselves here on the offensive end. As Ellie Toth will chip it ahead here. Jaden Griggs racing after it, but there's Conorick, who just has that extra gear. For goodness sakes. She was 15 yards behind the ball and chased down everybody and the ball. As she'll put a foot into it again. And now the run by Jaden Brown. And the backtrack by Emmy Coldy, and Coldy will clear it. And, they're going to say it's off of Eastmont, so Wenatchee throw in. Eastmont fans not happy about that call here on the near touchline. I think they might have a pretty good gripe looking at that replay.
Yeah.
Chandler comes in, so too does Ellie Little for Eastmont, giving a spell to Whitney Lane as well as Annalise Bowman. Meanwhile, ball out at center circle here as the touch is to Eastmont and then back to Wenatchee. A chip ahead, got behind, and Stegman giving chase, still loose back there. Conorick finally comes up with it. Then chasing after it far side down on the corner, Palaio, and it goes out of bounds off of Eastmont. Two-one Wenatchee on top. Trying to get a big, giant leg up here as the season winds down in the Big Nine standings. Wenatchee coming in at 6-1 in Big Nine play. Atop the standings, but still tied at 20 points when you start looking at those tie-break scenarios when you get to the playoffs and such. With Eastmont coming in. Eastmont with 20 points as well, even though they're 5-1. Ball out. Again, a throw in for Wenatchee here in the 48th minute.
Yeah, it seems a little overly complicated when they do their point scoring. There's a couple other ways that I'm used to with club ball that I think are a lot easier.
Such as?
Well, the standard 3 points for a win, 1 point for a tie, 0 points for a loss, and then goals for and then goals against.
Sure.
Head-to-head being actually the first tiebreaker, then
right.
goals for and then goals against. Typically can sort it out. Otherwise, you can go with the 10-point scenario where you get 3 points for a win, another point for a shutout, 1 point per goal up to 4 goals or something like that.
Okay.
And that will get you 10 points in a game. And that's more often tournament-style point scoring.
Gotcha.
But it gets I've never really been able to, without a cheat sheet, been able to rattle off what the WIAA scoring method is.
Another corner kick here for Wenatchee. And
another
it's loose out in front, still loose, and finally somebody from Eastmont poked at it. I think Cora Fry lying down got it out of there. Conorick comes up with it for the Wildcats, and then she'll lose it, and then it goes back down in the corner. Chasing after it now, I think it's Jarecki down there. Nope, excuse me, it was Madison Smith. Oh, look at that. Shot from Springer, and Cora Fry breathing a sigh of relief back there. Might have been shaken up on that scrum right in front of her goal crease.
1 or 2 times a year, Springer comes out with these strikes, these full volleys just out of nowhere and rockets them, and that was another one.
Cora Fry is shaken up here. She's grabbing her neck, and after that punch, she punted it out of bounds here near side, which you don't normally see from Cora. And so our center referee, Nelson Elias, is going to go out there and check on her to make sure she's okay. I don't know if she got banged in the back of the head or the neck while she was on the ground there.
Yeah, it might have been something there in that scrum in front of the goal. Feet start flying everywhere, and as a keeper, you're really exposed. Yeah.
And she's going to stay in, whistle play, and here we go. Play on for this match between the Panthers and the Wildcats. Wenatchee up by 1, 2-1. That's a giant goal right now here as we're in the 51st minute of this one. Here on the NCWLIFE channel and on our stream tonight on our website at ncwlife.com. These games, by the way, also are available on demand on our website. You can go to the watch column on the header of the website, and you'll see on demand, and you drop down to sports, and everything we do on the NCWLIFE channel is put up there for you to watch anytime you want. Uriah Darby and Tucker Wagner, the two that do a lot of that business back in our studio, so we appreciate
Tucky.
that. Tucky, yeah, Tucky. I told Tucker I was going to give him a new name this week because he's taken over a lot of our IT duties and all of that. I was going to call him Tinker Wagner from now on.
Oh, Tinker.
Because he's constantly tinkering with stuff. And has certainly helped us out. In fact, if you're watching the broadcast tonight, you're seeing these cool scoreboard that we've got. That's all because of Tinker Wagner. He doesn't like that. He likes, I offered to call him Radar, too. Going
Radar,
back to the old MASH days.
MacGyver?
MacGyver. There you go. MacGyver Wagner. I don't know if that works.
Leatherman?
Ooh, I like that. He's a multi-tool, that's for sure.
I think the Swiss Army knife is just too long.
Elliot Little replacing the lineup here by Riley Fisher for Eastmont. Also looks like Cheyenne Chang is just going to come over and get rid of a rubber band here on the near side. Has enough things to fasten her hair with. Doesn't need that extra one. Here's a boot ahead and a chase. And Chandler giving chase, then tumbles down. Got tripped up by the turf out there. A little give and go for Wenatchee near side. And Chang tried to touch it, but she didn't. Kind of got tripped up by her own foot. And it worked out well. Eastmont throw in. Out of bounds off of Griggs. Throw in near side by Heimbigner. She'll try to find Chandler. Ball's loose out there. Chandler giving chase, and Chandler looked like she got her hair caught into the fingers of the defender back there. And now the ball just going to be going towards nowhere. Lexi Heimbigner. And that's something we talked about, Matt, beforehand with Matt Kimmel about being calm, being patient, and not trying to fire because you have the opportunity, but because you have the shot.
Yeah, building your possession, looking for spaces you can exploit, setting up scenarios you can exploit. That's taking the next step towards being a really dangerous attacking team. Just getting lots of shots sometimes works, but not always.
Isabel Pelayo's goal, speaking of what she's chasing after it on the far side, is the difference in this one. 2-1, Wenatchee on top, the only goal scored in the second half. We're in the 54th minute to this contest. The battle for first place in the Big Nine between the Wenatchee Panthers and the Eastmont Wildcats. Ball came out near center circle again, and a scrum out there, and then Chang came up with it for a moment. Then Brown tried to chip it ahead to Chandler, who was in front of the pack there.
It's a good run by Chandler. They had her on
that. Yeah, they did. Battle for the ball in midfield. Chandler chipped it ahead, but Jaden Brown's not going to be able to chase that one down. Instead, it'll be Emmy Coldy coming up with it for the Panthers. Our broadcast brought to you by the Alignment Pros and Express Lube. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube, including front and four-wheel alignment. Online at alignpros.com or at 182 Eastmont Avenue. Also by Automoca. What's your Automoca emergency? Visit one of their 6 locations in the valley, including the only Automoca with inside seating on 5th Street across from the college. Urgency seems to be building here for Eastmont. Now we're in the 55th minute, and they trail it 2-1. Substitution. Oh, no, just a change of who's going to throw the ball in here for Eastmont. Alyssa Conorick will do it. Right in front of the Eastmont bench here, midfield.
Yeah, we talk so much about Alyssa. Looks like she stepped on the.
Yeah, Conorick. She stepped on the.
Alyssa being a integral component of that back line. For Wenatchee, Emmy Coldy has just for years been a stalwart back there as well, and definitely is going to be missed when she graduates this year.
Allie Clark will throw it in here for the Panthers to the foot of Ellie Toth. Then back to Clark, and Clark tried to skitter it ahead for Griggs, but it goes out of bounds and will be an Eastmont throw-in here. Our broadcast also brought to you by Color Effects, offering screen printing, embroidery, digital printing, and logo design for your team, school, business, or church at a fair price. Locally owned for over 20 years, call Color Effects at 509-741-7609. Chilly night here in the Wenatchee Valley. Temperatures in the 50s. And with the moisture we had earlier this week and still a little moisture in the air, even though we had a beautiful clear day today. Notice frost in some of the outlying areas and some definite dew on the window as you get to go to work in the morning.
Yeah, I think they're actually saying temperature's going to get down into the 30s this weekend for the low. However, the highs will be pretty nice.
Yeah, upper 60s for the highs. So
good camping weather.
Yeah, it's good camping weather. Opening of the general deer hunting season that's this weekend across the state of Washington.
And so not good hiking weather.
No. And if you go hiking, then make sure you wear some bright colors.
Like all bright colors.
Yes.
There's a lot of hunters out there.
Yes.
Some of them are pretty
not
pretty anxious.
Not the sharpest tools in the shed, that's for sure.
Also, Apple Cup. Speaking of soccer, if you like to watch soccer, the Apple Cup soccer tournament.
Oh, that's right.
The longest running soccer tournament in the Valley is this weekend.
That's a huge tournament and huge for the hotels here on the Wenatchee.
Yeah, it's lost a little steam. Tournaments have this is a difficult time of year as hotels fill up with lots of Oktoberfest guests.
Right.
And in the middle of 2 different league seasons, 3 if you count high school. Numbers have been going down, but it's still very vital component to the economy. But the kids just have a blast. It's fun coming out and watching them all play.
And they fill up Walla Walla Point Park is kind of headquarters for the tournament. Also played down at Hydro Park, correct?
Yeah, I think this year though we're just going to center everything at Walla Walla. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so. Teams from Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana still coming down.
There's Jaden Griggs on the attack.
Good job by
Cora Fry stepped out. And
Cora reading that one. Otherwise, Jaden was in.
Yeah, absolutely.
That long slicing ball through the middle that we've seen her make, or her on the receiving end of.
Yeah.
Such a good pass that Wenatchee seems to get their eye up looking for really well.
Brown got it back to Tess Sparks, and Sparks tried to feed ahead back to Brown. A little bit too long for her. 59th minute, 2-1, Wenatchee on top. With Matt Wise and Eric Grandstrom with you here on the NCWLIFE channel. Sebastian Moraga, who is our normal play-by-play guy for soccer, City had Quincy volleyball
Quincy
tonight.
volleyball.
Yeah.
All right.
So he was busy doing a radio call, I believe, for Quincy volleyball tonight.
One more quick thing about the Apple Cup. I believe this will be the 3rd year in a row that they'll have bubble ball. Now, if you've seen
that's a fun
bubble
time.
Ball, they bring guys out and go. I think it's like $5 a player, maybe less than that, and go out and have a good time. It's a great workout and it's a blast.
There's another counter by Eastmont. Ball, I think, went out of bounds off Wenatchee here, and so it'll be a throw-in for the Wildcats, and they will have it down, I believe, if they give it to where I saw it anyway. It'll be pretty deep in Wenatchee territory. Throw-in comes in. Right there is Whitney Lane. Panthers with the defense. Conorick turns it the other way. Mendoza, and the ball stolen away from her, and Kate Springer. Now the feet ahead, we're going to get a little shove, and they're going to call this on Wenatchee. And so much so it'll be a yellow card here called against the Panthers, Madison Smith.
Interesting.
There must have been some verbiage because I didn't see.
There was a little bit of chippiness going and some pushing, but I think 2 players were equally involved in that one.
I think it was Conorick that she was squared up there with. So Smith has to leave for the moment. Sanchez Blanco comes in to replace her. And the kick here by Conorick on the free kick. Miller was looking for it. We haven't talked about Carissa Miller too much tonight. Kind of a quiet component to this one. Kate Springer up the far side. Now redirects back to the middle. Coming up with it is Stegman. Stegman turns, and then the red defense is right there for the Wildcats. And they'll boot it out of bounds here near side. It's Lexi Heimbigner takes care of that in the 61st minute. So time a ticking if you're an Eastmont Wildcat fan. Again, these 2 teams met 3 weeks ago with Eastmont falling to the Panthers over at the Apple Bowl in a penalty kick shootout after it was scoreless in regulation, scoreless through two overtimes. Different story here tonight with goals by Madison Smith for the Panthers and Jaden Brown for the Wildcats. And then the only goal here in the second half came in the 41st minute. So real early in the second half by Isabel Palayo, and that's been it. Had some interesting encounters, but nothing really close that I would consider. A couple of shots on goal by Wenatchee. And I don't have Eastmont for a single shot on goal yet here in the second half, Matt.
Yeah, I think they're kind of looking again they are building. They're in some cases being a little overly patient. Wenatchee's kind of giving them some counterattack opportunities.
Conorick chases that one down, then turns the direction. It clangs off a Chang out of bounds.
That goal seemed like it kind of took Eastmont by surprise a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it took us by surprise.
And it kind of just knocked them out of their halftime rhythm a little bit.
Right.
Maybe they're going in with a game plan that doesn't necessarily apply with a 1-goal deficit now.
Yeah.
And they're they're searching for some tactical direction.
The throw in here rattled off of a couple of thighs, and they're going to say it went off of Eastmont last. And so it'll be Allie Clark again throwing it in. Griggs in position. Chandler was there, and they're going to say a little extra shove there by the Panthers. So a free kick here for Eastmont. And Conorick again quickly puts the right foot to it. And they're going to chip it back, and that's a dangerous play as there was a Wildcat right there. Haley Matthews just got it out of the 18-yard box. Now crosses over, far side, doesn't go out of bounds. The battle will ensue, and then Kate Springer comes in, quick as a flash. Conorick tried to carry him a ball off of her leg out of bounds. It'll be off of Conorick, and a throw in. Comes right to Schneider. Then the lead in for Sanchez Blanco, and that ball dangerously teetering on the doorstep, and now turning and shooting with the shot is Stegman. It goes wide left, but another shot on goal for the Panthers.
Well, it looks like that was deflected up early on, so we got a corner
Another
kick
corner kick, and that'll be the second here of the second half, the 7th of the game for Wenatchee, and not one for Eastmont.
Yeah, and defending these crosses has kind of given Eastmont some trouble tonight.
Certainly has.
Letting those balls fall down at the feet of some of the players.
See who's going to take. We had a substitution for the Panthers as Pelayo came out of the contest, and I think Madison Smith just came back in. Excuse me. Meanwhile, down in the corner, Holly Stegman will do the corner kick duties. Boy, Wenatchee right there on the doorstep. Here's the cross. Weak side to go, and a bicycle kick a little bit too high there, and a high kick called.
Again, though, Wenatchee being the aggressor, getting after that ball.
Yeah. Yeah, they're on their 7 corner kicks. I think they've had first touch on 6 of those 7.
Mm-hmm.
Griggs comes up with a loose ball here. Left-footed center, and right there with the goal. What a job by the Wenatchee Panthers. Sanchez Blanco connects on the feet from Griggs, and Wenatchee's up 3-1.
Yeah, kind of using, again, taking advantage of Griggs drawing 2 to 3 defenders on that cross. Left it a little thin on the back door. But that's another cross, though, where we get a foot to it first, or Wenatchee gets a foot to it first. And it's a great finish, good volley. Nothing you can do if you're Cora.
No, definitely not. Came in the 64th minute. Sanchez Blanco with her first goal of the game from Griggs on the beautiful pass. And now ball punted, kicked all the way into the zone there as Matthews will scoop it up for Wenatchee. And now the Panthers lead by 2.
Yeah, now if you're Eastmont, you've got to throw numbers forward. And some of us going to come out of your holding mid positions, just push them forward. Maybe run in Alyssa, hopefully run Alyssa off that back line. You're going to take some risks now.
Yeah. Yeah, the counters going the other way can certainly find numbers not in your favor.
So they've got their goal, right? So they get some points out of the deal. Now you got to get a win, I believe. And this is me not understanding the WIA ranking or scoring very well, but I think they're in a weird place where you might as well shoot for the win. Giving up another goal may not hurt you as much as
sure. Yeah, because it's not your goals for. Doesn't matter. It's just a win. Win is a win is a win. Yeah, so a win is 3 points.
And then you get a point for a goal, right?
Not according to their scoring system. Okay. It's just simply a win is 3 points, a shootout win 2 points, a shootout loss you get a point in that point system. So Wenatchee Eastmont came into tonight both with 20 points on the season.
So if that's the case, losing 5-1 versus
it doesn't matter. I mean
3-2.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. So you might as well start throwing numbers forward.
Yeah, absolutely. 68th minute just ticked into it, and we're going to get a substitution here whistled for Eastmont as Ellie Little will come back in and will spell Annalise Bowman. Throw in, meanwhile, Eastmont on the far side away from us here as it comes in and glances off of a Panther out of bounds as Ureli Sanchez Blanco, who just scored that goal moments ago.
And Wenatchee's not really built to be a time-wasting, park-the-bus kind of a team. Work slowly out of the back. They're just not. That's not in their DNA. And so that over-aggressiveness Eastmont can take advantage of and work that into their last 15 minutes or so tactics.
Collision there between Griggs of Wenatchee and Sparks of Eastmont. Ball on a throw-in now for the Panthers, and we're going to get a little push from behind by Cheyenne Chang on that throw-in, so a free kick here for Wenatchee. 69th minute. Mendoza comes back into the game here for Eastmont and will replace Whitney Lane. The free kick for the Panthers by Coldy. Chips it ahead to Toth. Toth near side. Stepping in front, nice job by Heimbigner. Heimbigner trying to chase after it now. Ball loose here near side and then picked up on the dribble by Toth. Back and forth it goes. Schneider got a foot to it. And now Eastmont will direct it. Just dump it in here. And a chase after it. Bauman over there for Wenatchee. Came up with the loose ball to Sanchez Blanco. Nice dribbling over there. Nice footwork by Blanco. And then a chip ahead back to her. And it's a little bit too long for her and goes out of bounds. Well, we mentioned coming in that Wenatchee's only given up 3 goals in Big 9 play all season long in their 8 meetings so far, while Eastmont has allowed 6 goals in its 8 contests in Big 9 play and a 3-1 contest here. So you look at the numbers, it certainly would favor the Panthers here. A turn by Springer, just somehow got enough gap there, and a shot on goal for the Panthers. They're 4th here in the second half, but Cora Fry right there to collect it with the punt near midfield. It goes off of the back and rolls out of bounds, and they're going to say that went off of Wenatchee. I thought it went off of Chandler, but they say it went off of Allie Clark of the Panthers. So a throw in here for Eastmont by Heimbigner. Jaden Brown had it and lost it, now trying to get it back again. And here you go. Cross over towards Chandler's way. Comes out to Chang. Chang crosses it over. And there's Carissa Miller. She's banged into hard there by Springer. And they're going to call the bump against Springer and a free kick here for the Wildcats. Right, straight, dead on, 35 yards away. Well, if you're the Wildcats, Matt, these are, opportunities you got to cash in.
Yeah, I'm throwing more people forward. You got 3 in the back line. You might as well just throw
everybody.
Well, yeah, just
the ball
about.
Loose out front and then chipped in by the Wildcats. And I think it's Chandler that got it. Ball somehow got away from Haley Matthews back there. Well,
Yeah,
you get the opportunity.
Yeah, throwing numbers in. There was a collision there, and she looks like she was taken down, but no call, and we got a goal. Now we got a little tighter match.
In the 72nd minute, it comes 3-2 now on the goal by Chandler. On the whistle that came on a collision out 35 yards away. So, interestinger it becomes, as they say, here in the 72nd minute. Throw in here near side by the Panthers. Headed, excuse me. And now the chase back, and a lot of white jerseys back there. And let's see if they just clear it out. No, it goes off of an Eastmont Wildcat out of bounds as Jaden Brown was giving chase, trying to pester Allie Clark back there. Our broadcast brought to you in part by Global Car Care, a quality auto repair facility with highly trained technicians celebrating 25 years in the car care business. They speak your car's language at 1840 North Wenatchee Avenue. Throw in here near side. Chang is going to say, hey, that is off the Panthers, so I'll throw this in. Ball came in and then loose out towards midfield. Chipped and then headed by a Wildcat, but then picked up by the Panthers. Back the other way comes Stegman. Stegman looking left side. Look out, here's Griggs all alone in the corner. Jaden Griggs a chance to think about it. Now the centering feed, and right there on the doorstep, Cora Fry comes out, and oh my. Goodness.
And that was just
Madison
about a handball
Smith
back
was
in there.
right there, and nada. In fact, I think with that ball back there, Matt, I think.
Yeah, that drew some arm right there. That looked like a handball that was just missed.
And I think everybody kind of stopped because they were waiting for the whistle.
Yep.
Haley Matthews will collect the ball in the box here on the Wenatchee end, and now she'll punt it out towards midfield as we tick-tock down this one. 74th minute. Will Eastmont be able to find a gap, find a hole, and tie this thing before the end of regulation?
They need to just really get after it hard right now. Take advantage of that little bit of emotional letdown Wenatchee had after giving that goal up. If they let this go another few minutes, Wenatchee can kind of work their way back through that emotional letdown and gain control of the game again, then they might have some issues.
Knipfer comes in for Wenatchee. Eastmont comes up with the ball as Chandler had to go off of a couple of bodies, and then Jaden Brown trying to get after it. Now Chandler ahead. Here's another approach by Eastmont, and then a clear by Wenatchee. As back there for the Panthers again was Emmy Coley. We're going to have another substitution for Eastmont as Mendoza comes out, and in comes Whitney Lane for the Wildcats. Throw in by Heimbigner here near side. Lobs it ahead, and Coley again just rejects it back out her direction. Our broadcast brought to you by One Way Construction, premier custom home builders and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consultation services. Online at onewayconstructionnw.com. Ball out towards midfield. Carissa Miller redirects it, but then it comes out of bounds. Throw in for Wenatchee. 75th minute. Not a lot of time left on the old clock here tonight.
And one thing that Wenatchee has going kind of in their favor with this field is that it's so big around the outside of it that if you can find a spot on the track where there's not a whole lot of people and you want to kill the time, you play the ball out of bounds to that spot, and it'll just run and run and run.
Right.
And waste a minute of time trying to get it back.
Throw in here for Eastmont, got past everybody, and there's Chandler with a kick and then a push, and no whistle that I see, as the push came after she booted the ball. And for Eastmont, I guess you call that a shot on goal. Wasn't really anywhere close, but that's only their second here of the second half.
It was an attempted shot.
Attempted shot,
yep.
There you go.
She definitely took a shove from behind after playing that ball, which could go as a foul as well on the other.
Tough tumble over there for Little. Ellie stepped on the top of the ball and awkwardly fell. It looks like she's okay over there. The ball on the throw-in comes in and will go off of Wenatchee out of bounds. Throw in again for Eastmont. Wildcats trying to scramble their way back into it here after trailing 3-1 here in the second half. The goal by Chandler brought it to within 1, and that's where we sit at 3-2 here in the 77th minute. Punt by Matthews. Comes out towards midfield. The dribble attempt there by Wenatchee's Tanya Ocampo. And then Chandler counters. Eastmont on a carom ball. Brown had it. They lost it out towards midfield. And there's Conorick again. Midfield again picked up by Eastmont. Conorick will field it back and then redirect traffic up to Chang at midfield. Back it comes. Sparks. Back to Conorick. Chang missed it. Chipped by Wenatchee. Header by Ocampo. Loose. Eastmont tracing after it. Ellie Little over there, and then picked up by the Panthers. And going to go all the way down in the corner, and it's going to go past the inline. So a goal kick here for Wenatchee, or for Eastmont. Broadcast brought to you in part by The Windmill, a time-tested restaurant providing traditional steakhouse meals in a homey, old-fashioned dining room. Open 7 days a week, 4:30 to 9. Call 509-665-9529. Jaden Griggs in the corner. A ball touched by Eastmont, so a good job by Cora Fry to come out and scoop it up and then punt it back towards midfield. Chandler tried to direct it ahead, but a white jersey is there. Conorick now will retreat. Punt the ball here near side, and it goes out of bounds off of Eastmont. Clock has stopped at 78, so the time now is on the watch of Nelson Elias. Tick, tock, tick, tock.
Play this ball into the corners if you're Wenatchee and stay organized.
Springer. Down in the corner it goes to Griggs. Griggs keeps it from going over the end line somehow. Over in the corner it goes. Defense comes out on her. And now she'll kick it across, and we got a flag on the far side by the
goal kick. So
goal kick for Eastmont.
Just put that ball over the touchline a little bit.
Just a few moments left in this one. Can Eastmont find a counter here? Trailing at 3-2. The chip ahead. Here we go. Jaden Brown, far or near sideline. Brown on the run. Marked there by Clark. Wenatchee comes over. We're going to get a corner kick. It will be. And believe it or not, Matt, this is Eastmont's first corner kick of the game. Wow. What a time for it to happen here in extra play.
It looks like he's actually added time to his watch.
Yeah.
So I think he's saying 1 minute right there.
Carissa Miller with the corner kick, and it's loose out in front. It caroms off of Eastmont, still alive. The shot by Miller and picked up there by Matthews. Couple of shots on goal for the Wildcats. They just can't get it in there. Punt by Matthews out towards midfield. Eastmont maybe one time enough for one more offensive approach. Battle for the ball is going to go out of bounds off of Tess Sparks and be a throw in for Wenatchee. 3-2. Panthers up. Throw in slipped off her hands. Didn't come into play. Now the ball is kicked out of bounds by Jaden Griggs, and it will be Eastmont throw-in. Cheyenne Chang trying to do all she can to quickly grab that ball and throw it in. She does. Into Brown. Brown had a defender on her, And it comes out towards midfield. This is going to scamper all the way back into the Eastmont end. Cora Fry back there is just going to try to boot it back the other way. Ball loose out towards midfield. Cheyenne Chang comes up with it for Eastmont. And the ball ricochets out of bounds, goes clear back behind the bench area here. And more time wasted. The official checking his watch. Not much left of this one. Wenatchee trying to claim the Big Nine, big step towards the Big Nine title right here. Again, the ball goes out of bounds. Long run for Eastmont. In fact, it went over the fence. Goodness. Conorick finally retrieves the ball.
So we're about 2 minutes into extra time now. And
ball out towards midfield. And again redirected, and it goes out of bounds, and center referee put his whistle in his mouth, and that will be it. And the Wenatchee Panthers take a giant step towards a Big Nine championship by knocking off the Eastmont Wildcats here by a final of 3-2. That is our conclusion here tonight. We will head down and go fieldside and get you ready for a postgame show coming up on the NCWLIFE channel. Again, 3-2 the difference as Wenatchee knocks off Eastmont. We're back with the postgame show after this timeout.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global technicians are ASE master techs and well versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frapita mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frapita.
Definitely espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha Frapitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Brought to you by One Way Construction, premier custom home builders and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consulting services. OneWayConstructionNW.com. The Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service, located at 1205 Walnut Street, Wenatchee. TheFireplaceGuy.net. And Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home.
Choose the pros, Alignment Pros. When your vehicle needs brakes, shocks, struts, or alignment, choose the experts in their field. Alignment Pros and Express Lube with a 5-star rating. The work they perform on your vehicle is as impeccable as their shop. With state-of-the-art equipment, Alignment Pros can handle all large or small vehicles, specialty cars, lifted or lowered. Alignment Pros does them all. Keep your car in top shape at Alignment Pros and Express Lube in East Wenatchee.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
Welcome back here on the postgame show on the NCWLIFE channel, where the Wenatchee Panthers have taken a big stride towards a Big 9 district championship in soccer after knocking off the Eastmont Wildcats here by a score of 3-2. The final, the first score of the game came by Wenatchee. It was Madison Smith in the 20th minute to make it a 1-0 game at that point. About 10 minutes later, Jaden Brown found the equalizer for the Eastmont Wildcats in the 31st minute. That tied it up at 1, where we would stay until halftime. Just a minute into the second half, Madison Smith on a beautiful pass entry in, and Isabel Pelayo would score it for Wenatchee in the 41st minute. That made it 2-1 Panthers. They would extend that lead in the 64th minute after a lot of back and forth in that second half. Sanchez Blanco on a feed from Griggs would put the goal in the 64th minute. That made it 3-1 Wenatchee. Eastmont would try to counter late in this contest with a goal by Megan Chandler in the 72nd minute. That made it 3-2. Eastmont had one more chance with a corner kick. It was close, but not quite, as it would be a Wenatchee win tonight by a final of 3-2. We're going to talk to John Springer as we come back here on the postgame show right after this timeout on the NCWLIFE channel.
Guten Samir das Problem sagen.
Meinen Zylinder überschwingt. Flute, ich habe mein Fugen verloren.
Keine Sorge.
Global Car Care. We speak your car's language.
Fragenschlussen. Hey, you.
Well, I got a leaky transmission, my head gasket's shot, and I could use some new brake pads.
That dog don't hunt.
Global Car Care. We speak your car or truck's language.
What's your automocha emergency?
It's a Frapita mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate Frapita.
Definitely espresso shakes. My favorite is the mocha Frappitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Hi, I'm Kevin Prosser, and this is my print shop, Color Effects in Cashmere. Color Effects offers screen printing, embroidery, and digital printing on t-shirts, jerseys, bags, banners, signs, and more. With 30 years experience, you won't be disappointed with the quality and quick turnaround times you will get at more than a fair price. Please call Color FX.
Thanks for watching sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Brought to you by One Way Construction, premier custom home builders and construction company for North Central Washington, including general contracting, framing, concrete, and consulting services. OneWayConstructionNW.com. The Fireplace Guys, Central Washington's most trusted names in fireplace and barbecue sales, installation, and service, located at 1205 Walnut Street, Wenatchee. TheFireplaceGuy.net. And Beneficial In-Home Care, your compassionate in-home care provider. All the benefits of assisted living while remaining within the comfort of your own home. Welcome back once again here on the NCWLIFE channel, along with Matt Wise and Eric Grandstrom with you. The Wenatchee Panthers get the win tonight over Eastmont by a final of 3-2. You know, you give a lot of credit for Eastmont for the way that they attacked this game. We talked with their coach coming in, and they wanted to be a little more aggressive. They were tonight. But Wenatchee, again, just a little too much for the Wildcats here.
Yeah, Wenatchee has lots of confidence against Eastmont, and doesn't always feel that way. I mean, Wenatchee had quite a bit of possession tonight, more opportunities going forward. Eastmont finds ways to stay in games, and they did that just tonight. And it was, as soon as you thought Eastmont was going to go away, down by 2, late in the second half, they find a way to get a goal and make it a whole another game and make it really interesting.
We had shots on goal here in the contest. Let's see, 4 in the second half for Wenatchee. Total of 7, that's 11 in the game, so not a lot of shots on goal here tonight. It was kind of one of those off nights, and it was one of those feel out between the two and who's gonna, I guess, blink first.
Yeah, neither team really able to put together much of a coordinated attack.
Right.
A little good possession in the midfield, some decent possession in the defense, outstanding individual performances, and then, like we've seen so often with this game, funny little bounces. 40-yard shots or something close to that. Just stuff like that happening that makes all the difference in this game.
Yeah, definitely so. And the difference was a 1-goal win for the Wenatchee Panthers. So they improved to, let's see here, 8-1 in Big 9 play. And, there's still some games left to be played here, but they've got that big rematch with Moses Lake coming up here in about a week. But, this is a huge step for the Panthers in Big 9 championship.
Yeah, it's hard not to look forward to that Moses Lake game if you're Wenatchee. If they do drop that game, I don't know where it goes now. It's all open. Eastmont's definitely going to be watching that with some interest.
Absolutely. For the Eastmont Wildcats, they dropped their second Big 9 game of the season, so they go to 6-3. Actually, their third game, so 6-3 now for the Eastmont Wildcats. And depending on what happens with Moses Lake tonight, could be Moses Lake leapfrogging into second place behind Wenatchee in the Big 9 standings. We still have a couple of weeks to go, so a lot to be determined here as we go down the stretch. We were hoping to get Matt Springer, but looks like he's been consumed by his players, and that's okay after Wenatchee knocks off Eastmont here tonight by a final of 3-2. Need to thank our crew for helping us with the broadcast tonight. Jessica Medina up there high atop the stadium with the camera up above. Marion Granstrom taking care of the camera duties down here low. And Becca Freemuth back in the studios. For Matt Wiesen, I'm Eric Granstrom. Thank you very much for watching tonight. And be sure and join us again tomorrow night for football right here back at Eastmont's Wildcat Stadium, where the Eastmont Wildcats take on the Sunnyside Grizzlies in another battle for first place in the Big 9. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thanks for watching High School Sports on the NCWLIFE channel. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by Alignment Pros, Automoca, Color FX, Global Car Care, One Way Construction, and the Windmill Restaurant. NCWLIFE channel's coverage is also brought to you by Charter College and the Walkabout Grill. This concludes today's coverage of high school sports on your home for local sports, the NCWLIFE channel.